I presume you have understood things correctly. There was once a time where a YouTuber named Jellopocalypse had the idea to review sets of movies in 10 words or less apiece, otherwise known as his marathon format. And I, along with dozens of other people, chose to spoof it, seeing it was cool at the time. It was so interesting that I made more than a handful of these things. Unfortunately, I stopped not so long ago, and I bet some of you are wondering why. Unlike my Dream Battles and Fantasy Sketch series, there are several reasons for the huge decision I have made, hence this explanation video's existence. Bake up all the flavors of gelatin you'd like, because this is going to be quite a jiggly ride for each and every one of us. Hey, I'm Owen, the Fiction Fanboy, and here's why I'm no longer making 10 words or less videos. Let's start off with the most obvious thing I need to get out of the way. The 10 words or less formula is not original, and I certainly didn't come up with it, but you very likely were aware of that already, on account of it being obvious. There are probably trillions of YouTubers in total, and everyone has something that makes them who they are. A fraction of those people have come up with the idea themselves, while another portion will rely on the success of others, or maybe think of an already used idea without realizing someone else thought of it. My only original concept was my fantasy sketches, where I used my imagination to envision what characters are doing, and that didn't get much attention. And while my Dream Battles aren't original, it still couldn't compete with my 10 words or less parodies. And here's a chart to justify my analytics. As you can see, compared to my imitative series, my creativeness never stood a chance. Though that doesn't mean A, keep doing stuff others did and act like it's just my thing, and B, I shouldn't try other ways to separate myself from everyone else. In fact, I devised a new series in hopes nobody else has done it, which should be coming fairly soon. I am a one-of-a-kind person, and I strive to make my own original series for the internet to see, one way or the next. While my series of marathon parodies has gained a bundle of views, I have to also take the like-dislike bar into consideration as well, since that's also an important aspect of figuring out video performances. Not to mention the comments that were posted. I mean, it's where I really get the feedback. Got a whole lot of likes, yet there are some dislikes, and it seems my DuckTales videos get the most of both. This might be due to the episodes I put on my best and worst lists, with my Season 2 video containing the most controversial opinions I've ever had. Even made 2 videos about the comments I received, and Sorcerer SMC has said it splendidly about the comment featured in the second video. Obviously, that fella is nothing more than one of those toxic idiots who call their opinions facts when they actually aren't facts, and just stupidly assume stuff that isn't even true to begin with. And like with a load of other YouTubers, my channel is no place for such bigotry. Telling other people to keep their opinions to themselves is equally as bad as having prejudice towards the LGBTQ+ community, blacks, whites, men, women. Get the picture? Not everyone will agree on everything, and the sooner we all accept that everyone is entitled to their opinions, the more peaceful the world shall be. Alas, the negativity didn't end there, whereas someone wouldn't stop making multiple Gravity Falls hate comments towards me and the show's fans. And here's a shorter, but still harmful comment. The fun out of making these videos faded due to all this, and although I enjoyed making the videos and the positive feedback, there are still other reasons for my crucial choice. Take a look at my playlist of all the 10 words or less videos I have made, and you'll notice that the total number of installments in the series is 20. Now check out how many Jellopocalypse has created, with there being 8 videos, not counting the one which was deleted and not removed from the playlist. Do you see the problem? I have produced more than twice the amount of marathons the originator has. This does not make sense, and you might be asking, why did you make more 10 words or less videos than Jellopocalypse? Here's my answer. I vowed to make 10 additional parodies after my first batch, as stated at the conclusion of my tutorial video. Might sound like ridiculous logic, but I've never planned for such a surpassing to occur. I didn't think the marathon reviewer would quit the series anytime soon, and I was somehow wrong. One thing I'll presumably never know is why. Plus, I'm getting kinda tired of talking about the worst episodes of TV shows, since they're mostly just average or mediocre. And there were only a few episodes that are actually bad. The only episode I gave a 1 out of 10 rating was Symbionic Titans Lessons in Love, and throughout my series, there were no zeros, because I didn't find anything literally unwatchable, which I guess is what the score means. Don't get me wrong, we always have to respect each other's opinions, yet I don't want to completely bash episodes unless they're actually awful. And I also want to make more top 10 episodes countdowns, seeing I haven't made much of those. It's time I do stuff I'm immensely comfortable with, and I must make the best me I can be. This reason is kind of an extension to the previous one, but I separated them. To go along with the fact Jellopocalypse hasn't released a marathon review since February 2019, there are a multitude of YouTubers who took inspiration from the guy, yet not a lot of recognition is given. Compare Jellopocalypse to CinemaSins, the channel that finds quote-unquote sins in movies, and aside from acknowledging that they're still ongoing and most likely won't retire until everything has been sinned, and there have been spin-off channels where they cover music videos, TV shows, brands, and highly recently, commercials, people would take inspiration to tackle the area themselves. Dismissing the sinners, I have to ask some questions. One being, why are a bunch of smaller YouTubers, including myself, doing something a larger YouTuber used to do? Another one would be, is the 10 words or less format dead? And the follow-up would either be, if so, why? Or, if not, who should take over? It'd have to be a close, real-life friend of Jellopocalypse's, someone who has contact with him, and or someone with a similar subscriber range as him. Just a peripheral suggestion. I may not have a list of people who could continue what has once ended. However, there is the next best thing I can bring out, and that would be... For those that seek 10 words or less videos from people other than moi, I will run down a list of people to check out. Let's begin with the ultimate spider critic, for he's moderately near to being a Jellopocalypse twin with his videos on Blue Sky Studios and Sony Pictures Animation, with the former having a best and worst list. Bronies can look at Josh Scorcher for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic reviews. Also referred to as Fiery Joker, he promised to review every episode in the series, and has done that up to Season 7. SpongeBob fans can look no further than Ask Air. He had an enormous project going, and although it was fulfilled at the time, the show hasn't ended, and if it doesn't stop, the same can apply for his real test. He also made a BoJack Horseman video, but that's besides the point. Kirby Over Yonder made his own Gravity Falls video along with 2 Holiday Simpsons specials, and even one on levels in an underrated Kirby game. And lastly, the one, the only, Finn the Pony, who made a little pun for his series, Toon words or less. I'd say my series is like his, Except 1, my first parody came 2 months prior to his, and 2, Sonic X isn't a cartoon, it's an anime. Oh, and to the tiny number of people that want the Owl House Season 2 in 10 words or less, he's the guy, in case someone's thinking of asking me to do it. Apologies to Friction Fangirl, who anticipated criticizing the series as I praise it. There are others who've attempted the format, yet most were simply one-timers. Besides, I have other pressing matters needing to be acknowledged, like... As it's been made clear before, the marathon format isn't quite as popular as Sins videos, countdowns, or even regular reviews. I am not going to continue going down a path that ain't mine, not anymore. We are all aware the past can't be changed. The future, however, is what we can affect. If you want 10 words or less reviews to trend on YouTube, you need to convince people of the uniqueness the review style has. How does it stand out from the usual content you see on the platform? What topics can, or maybe even should, be covered? Do you love it more than anything else the internet offered you in terms of entertainment? Then show everyone how special this style is. Heck, if you want to take over the format for Jellopocalypse, ask permission, and there's always my tutorial video as a guide. I look forward to what everybody has in store for the video sharing social media company, and crossing my fingers, there's more for the greater good than bad, and how things work out is up to each one of us. Well, this is just about everything I had to say. Now you know I wish to create more original content and fewer parodies. Not everyone has given me positive feedback on the stuff I've made. I produced far too many of these things. I don't want to sound like a critic who makes things sound worse than they are. The format isn't trendy enough currently. I gave a few recommendations on channels you should maybe take a peek at, and perhaps even persuaded you into making a difference for the industry we love to linger at. P.S. Just because I'm not making 10 words or less videos anymore doesn't mean I've lost interest in the concept altogether. I'll watch marathons from whomever, including the names I brought up earlier. Ultimately, some people have reached their limit in some things. I know I've reached mine, and I have to move on. Before I do that, I frankly got to close this video with a bang. So, how will I say goodbye to my marathon videos? By making a tier list of all the series I reviewed in the 10 words or less format. None of the programs I've done are bad, so my categories here are best, great, good, and okay. Starting with Symbionic Titan, there's no shortage of action, dark themes, and the only thing needed is another season. It's going in the great tier. Next up is DuckTales 2017, an example of a reboot that's equally as amazing as, if not better, than its original. Easy best tier. Lowly Rock is My Little Pony meets Sailor Moon and has quite the emotion going around, and that could go for catchy songs. Good tier. The Justice League action shorts are pretty harmless, and even though I won't revisit them, still a solid collection. Good tier. Sonic X was my jam as a child. Nevertheless, it has issues here and there, but it didn't stop me from liking it. Good tier. 12 Forever, the only Netflix original here. Gross moments are present, yet fairly decent for a show about youth. Okay tier. Gravity Falls is a national treasure, and began boundary change for Disney in a tremendous way. Another best tier, hands down. Steven Universe Future may not have risen as high as the original, though I enjoyed a lot of it. Great tier. The Owl House, while not over, is fantastic. Hopefully it won't end disastrously like Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Best tier, for now. My Life as a Teenage Robot, bit on the overrated side, but the amount of entertainment is suitable. Okay tier. American Dragon Jake Long gets a little too much glory. That said, it's valuable enough to be considered a classic. Good tier. Avatar: The Last Airbender, a masterpiece without a doubt, balanced the elements and genres excellently. Automatic best tier. And finally, The Legend of Korra, slightly inferior to its predecessor, yet worthy of being an admirable sequel. Great tier. This is where I finished the job. It was nice parodying Jellopocalypse, but now I must bid y'all adieu. If you're satisfied with this video, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow me on Instagram. Tons of thanks for watching, see ya next time, and good night-o.